Alright. Not many quests left. Have a feeling we're getting close to the end of the game. Let's go to Fallbrook and do that. To Fallbrook with Ellie. Nyoka can
Not
come too.
today, Sam. I am not in the mood for a deep clean. Oh, all right. Some culprit who shall not be named spilled Rizzo's lemon slap on my console. We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain. I think I'll
initiate.
initiate an unscheduled rest cycle while you're out.
Said you docked 3 days ago?
This looks like the place. You ready to get my money or what?
I see you're still in one piece. However, you never know when that could change. Consider our accidentally torn into tiny fragments coverage. Note that all of your fragments must be recovered and must be smaller than a standard bit cartridge for the payouts to kick in.
I need to change the beneficiary on Marilyn Fenhill's life insurance policy.
I remember that one. That's the young socialite who broke her neck, right?
Of course, no one remembers me for the marauders I've killed or the bits I've stolen. Typical.
That claim was airtight. Our best investigators couldn't find an exclusion for that one.
Oh, what else can you tell me?
Are you serious?
Well, we interviewed the parents extensively. They had plenty of awkward childhood stories that illustrated their daughter's clumsiness and capriciousness.
Hey, those are entirely made up.
Furthermore, the claim spurred a whole line of fashion-related policies. It's become a very lucrative market.
So, how would I amend that claim?
You can't, of course. Only Miss Fenhill can assign her beneficiaries. And she's dead. If we let every friend, relative, and acquaintance change a policy like that, people would do it all the time. Imagine the paperwork.
Okay, but how would I change it?
Oh, you mean hypothetically? Well, hypothetically, you'd access the terminal in the back room that contains data on all our policies. And you'd, theoretically, add the beneficiary of your choice. But you wouldn't actually do that, of course. That would be fraud.
You'll do this, or you'll be filing your own claim.
Please, my policy only covers paper cuts and wrist strain. Very well, I'll do it. But then you've got to go. Confrontations like this will raise my premiums. I'll need the name of the new beneficiary.
Ellie Fenhill?
If you say so. The payouts will flow exclusively into the new account at the start of the month. I hope Ms. Fenhill enjoys her newfound prosperity.
That's all for now.
Can we talk?
Yeah, sure. Let's leave the insurance place first and we'll talk.
Nice and easy. You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it.
How does it feel?
I've never been prouder to stand back and watch someone else work. I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up. Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs.
What are you gonna do with all those bits?
Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future?
You've got to plan ahead at some point.
You talk like someone who likes lists. Maybe you haven't noticed, but you can't even count on a bribe making it into the right pocket. What's the point of planning for anything around here?
That's the kind of thinking that's running this place into the crapper.
Hate to say it, but Halcyon's already there. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee.
Thanks.
That's one thing I appreciate about you. Things are simple, straightforward. A job's a job and that's it, right?
Everyone's got to look out for themselves. You know that.
Yeah, never hurts to get a friendly reminder, though. You know, I think I get you just a little more now.
Nothing says two allies can't keep an eye on their own interests.
Plenty of sense in that. You know, I'm thinking I ought to find another gig once this one's all done. One where I can really work on my own.
You sure about that?
Easiest way to take care of myself is to work with the one person I trust the most, right? Anyway, enough chit-chat.
Let's get a move on. Back to Byzantium.
If you stop in the engine room, would you ask Parvati to send Sam down to the bridge? We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone.
Roll your eyes and sigh dramatically.
Oh. You mean I'm supposed to be meeting you?
Why do you sound so surprised?
Nothing, it's just... I thought you'd be taller. Anyway, let's not get hung up on that. The Phoenix is a wanted man and the board has eyes everywhere in Byzantium.
The Phoenix?
Yeah, that's my codename for... you know, our mutual friend.
What's your code name?
Oh. I'm Golden Eagle.
Do I have a code name?
Yeah. I named you Cuckoo.
Seriously?
It makes sense if you think about it, because I didn't know who you were, and old Earth cuckoos would routinely trick other birds into feeding them.
No way. I'm Golden Eagle. You can be Cuckoo.
That doesn't even make Fine. Fine.
Does this mean I'm supposed to have one too? Fine, but make it a really good one.
Let's go with Rufus Hummingbird.
Forget it. Codenames are for amateurs anyway.
Too late. I've already marked it off. Can't just go reassigning codenames.
This cloak and dagger stuff is nonsense, but if everyone else gets a code name, I want one too.
You can be Cassowary.
That's shockingly apt. Cassowaries were a solitary bunch. But once they had a friend, they'd stick with them till the end.
Aggressive little creatures, too. Anyway, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie, right? I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his estate, which is heavily guarded.
There's gotta be a way to catch the minister someplace less protected.
Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home, and his guards never leave him.
Can you get me into the minister's estate?
Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence.
Okay, so what can you tell me?
Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
That place is still open? I used to study there during medical school.
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking.
That's theft, not reconnaissance.
Whatever. I'm better with bird terms.
How exactly did you get involved in all this anyway?
I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
All of them trying to eat you, I'd wager.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators.
When they die off, it's a sign that something's wrong.
Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see.
Like what?
For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time.
Trust me, anyone with a lick of sense gets out of here as soon as possible.
But most people don't. In fact, most people stay exactly where they start. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
It does.
And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course.
Seems pretty normal, actually.
Sure, that part is. That's why they install shredders in those boxes, after all. But one day the shredder broke. No one came to fix it. And since it wasn't working, we didn't have anywhere to file our complaints. So you can imagine how messy things got.
And?
At first, management put up an out-of-order sign. But that just seemed to worry people. Like they were advertising something wasn't working. They eventually took the whole suggestion box sign down so that people didn't have any expectations about it. But they never fixed it, never replaced it. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
If you ask me, the suggestion box was pretty useless to begin with.
I don't know how else people are supposed to complain about things they can't change, but that's not the point.
If things are broken here, of all places, then I'm starting to think there ain't a hope left in this colony.
Things have kept on running this long, right? Or so I used to think. The whole episode made me wonder, if they can't fix something as simple as a suggestion box, what else aren't they fixing? After a while, I got connected with our mutual friend and started using my position here to feed him information when I could. That's it, really.
Looks like I've got work to do.
Good hunting, Golden Eagle.
Oh man, I gotta go this way. Should we just go kill everybody and get to Minister Clark? Or should we go to the Minister's Guard? There it is. Just took it.
I shipped with a merc who had a gun like yours, Nyoka. He polished it, sang to it, slept with it. Not like that, as far as I know.
Sounds like he had himself a discerning palate. Where are you going with this?
He couldn't hit the broadside of an assault cruiser, hence the tin shredder.
Wouldn't be the first man I met bearing compensation for his lack of skill.
Ooh, down there, a new ship. Doesn't look like any of the corporate freighters.
But what would they be doing here? And how did they ever get permission to land?
Perhaps we'll finally get some excitement after all.
Anti-Creon's antibiotics. Take comfort in knowing that anything antibiotics cannot stop will follow.
That episode from a few weeks ago was...
Hey, stand back, you. I'm part of Minister Clark's personal detail, and that means you gotta keep 5 feet back at all times.
Are you supposed to drink on the job?
Of course not. But I'm not on the job right now. The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all.
What's so important about guarding Minister Clark?
He's basically the most important person in the colony, which makes me the most important guard in the colony. Yeah. That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal UDL-issued shotgun. They don't give those out to just anyone.
A key, you say?
That's right. Not just anyone is allowed to have a key to Minister Clark's residence. It's all so very high level.
How about I buy you a drink to celebrate your promotion?
That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka.
I don't have any Spectrum vodka to give you.
Oh, maybe they got some at the bar.
Anything you can tell me about Minister Clark?
Oh, he's, medium height with, like, medium colored hair and, like, a kind of a medium face. Just like in his posters.
You haven't met him, have you?
Everyone tells me he's very private, okay? Besides, I just started.
I'll leave you to it. Let's go get some Spectrum vodka. I'm pretty sure I have some on the ship. Spectrum vodka. Here we go. Spectrum vodka. I think I took all of it. Pretty sure we don't need 31 of them. Oh man.
I only wish they weren't showing so.
Spacer's Choice free sliced bread. It tastes fresh because it was.
Hey, you look familiar. Have we met before?
Here's to your promotion.
Here's to me. Hey, you're really great. Have I told you that? We should be friends. Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm face down on the tile somewhere. Who am I kidding? I could have another. You got another?
Oh, that's funny. We gotta go back and get more. That's so funny. We'll just take all of it this time.
The dissidents actually took over.
Spacer's Choice dehydrated water tablets. Just add air. Now available in carbonated.
Hey, you look familiar. Have we met before?
Let's have another.
It's not every day you get your dream job, right? Wow! You've got, like, this crazy energy. Has anyone ever told you that? You're like a manosaur. You got a manosaur energy. Oh, Laws. I gotta stop. I'm seeing at least 2 of you.
Only 2? You got a ways to go.
Have you always been here? I didn't see you a minute ago.
Let's have another.
I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow if I don't stop.
Nonsense. You've got another in you. Doctor's orders.
Guess I can't argue with that. Ugh. Was that one supposed to taste like Purple Berry Crunch? Or am I just tasting breakfast? I don't feel so good. I think I'm gonna be sick. I just need to sit down.
Dang, he died?
I've always loved that sculpture.
It's an order.
Hold it right there. What do you think you're
I don't
doing?
even know how she saw me. I was just leaving.
I don't want any trouble out of you.
I love Byzantium. Well,
Oh, no, I think I go through here.
If I never smell another raft, it'll be too soon.
Weren't you a sawbones? Figured you ought to have smelled worse.
Sure, but those things reek like bad cologne. It's different.
I'm with you there. At least humans have the courtesy to...
This property is off limits. Solicitors, loiterers, and uninvited visitors will be fined to the fullest extent of company policy. This ultimatum brought to you by Universal Defense Logistics.
I'm here for Minister Clark.
That's funny. The minister isn't expecting visitors, and you don't much look like one of those couriers from HPS.
Sure I am.
Sure you are. And what is it you're delivering today?
I didn't bring it with me.
Typical. Why don't you come back when you're ready to actually make a delivery?
Farewell. Probably didn't even need to get that key card.
I'm on my legally allotted break. Really, I'm supposed to be here. Oh, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Nothing. Nothing. Why? Does it look like I'm up to something? Laws, I knew it! You got me. I'm caught, aren't I?
Yeah, you're in big trouble. Now, why don't you just tell me what you did?
I work in the lab at the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. Some of my sprats went missing, but it's not my fault, okay? Maybe I let them out more often than regulations allow, but they need to stretch their little legs. And so what if I occasionally forgot to latch their cage? Everyone gets a little distracted now and then.
Calm down and tell me what happened.
They escaped, and before I could coax them back, they'd made their way to the maintenance tunnels. Even if I did dare go down there, they're among all the common sewer sprats and exterminator mechanicals.
I could look for your sprats.
Really? In that case, take this collection crate. 6 of my little ones are down there, but don't worry, you can easily tell them apart from common sewer sprats. They have intelligent eyes, an agreeable yet reserved demeanor, and a fondness for hiding. Also, they're white rather than green. Please, do take care, and do mime the exterminator mechanicals. If the worst should happen to my little darlings, well, I still want their bodies. For science, of course.
Farewell.
How'd you do that so fast? Okay.
I'm afraid
You grew up in Byzantium, right?
Don't rub it in.
Oh, don't get all prickly. I just haven't met someone who left a highlight on purpose.
You must
I'm
be
from
joking.
there, but I'm not really from there, if you follow.
There's nothing to see here. Move along.
Chasing us off already? This feels familiar.
Ma'am, please don't cause a scene.
I want you to know I'm holding back for your sake.
Do you have any actual business here, or...?
Delivery for the minister.
Yeah? Let's see it.
I've got this parcel right here.
Looks like your papers are in order. All right. Go on through.
Thanks for your time.
Hold it right there.
I didn't even see that
Hey,
guy.
soldier. You can't just wander around the minister's residence. What do you think you're doing?
I'm delivering a parcel for Minister Clark.
Already? His magazines usually take weeks to arrive. Discretionary holding period and all that.
Sounds like someone's been reading his mail, which would be a crime.
Let's not jump to conclusions. Just drop it off and get out of here. I don't want to see you hanging around.
Sure thing.
I can't do that. Here I go.
What kind of gun is that?
Not so fast! Hey, soldier. You can't just wander around the minister's residence. What do you think you're doing?
I'm delivering a parcel for Minister Clark.
Already? His magazines usually take weeks to arrive. Discretionary holding period and all that.
What's not to love about a faster, more efficient parcel service?
Just make sure you drop it off fast and efficient like too. I don't want to see you hanging around here.
Sure thing.
How did you get in here?
If they didn't want to tempt us, why'd they lock it up?
You're not one of my guards. What are you doing here?
So, this is one of the guys who runs the colony, huh? Small room for a big shot.
If this is about another aetherwave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more.
What are you talking about?
Slowly and loudly, Aloysius. That's the only way these morons understand anything. I said, you may tell Charles to go fuck himself.
Calm down. I'm just here to ask you some questions.
Then you're not part of Rockwell's PR team. That means you're a dissident? A real live dissident? But what are you doing here? And how did you get in?
I'm the one asking questions.
Then what are you... Oh.
Do you really think I'm a dissident?
My friend, the slightest demonstration of independent thought or action renders one a dissident in the board's rather expansive definition of the term. Which is why I'm dying to know what brought you here.
Don't play dumb. You ordered a batch of chemicals. I need them.
Drugs, of course. What else? Why did I get my hopes up? Back to idiot speak. I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending machine or a purveyor of curative goods.
I don't know if our chemicals are here, but this guy is definitely not.
Will that be all, then?
They're not drugs, they're chemicals, and if you haven't been ordering them, who has?
Process of elimination. The only other person with access? Of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here to keep me out of the way.
You mean Chairman Rockwell's locked you up here?
You are a quick study, indeed. I've long suspected Rockwell of transacting business in my name, but this proves it.
Yeah, sure. It's always someone else who ordered the hookers and energizing ointment.
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it.
You expect me to believe this?
After seeing this place, is it really a stretch? I've been confined to this house for years, and even I can tell you, things aren't right in Halcyon. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon, that's as good a place as any to start.
Exactly. And fix it we must.
We really gonna do this? Getting involved is a messy business, and it rarely pays.
This is about more than bits. This is about the survival of the colony. If you don't help, who will? Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter.
The HHC headquarters.
Halcyon Holdings Corporation, the collective of companies that run the colony together. Allegedly in partnership with the Earth Directorate and appointed Minister of Earth.
Let's focus. How do I get to the HHC headquarters?
Via the Acropolis District, of course. That's where the most important corporate and government facilities are. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid the area for obvious reasons.
Obvious reasons?
They're rather dirty. There are also rumors of sprat infestations, faulty automechanicals, and other unsavory hazards, if that sort of thing bothers you.
Once I get to the Acropolis district, what then?
When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are.
What used to be your office?
Oh, I haven't been allowed up there in years. I shudder to think what Rockwell's done with the place. A gilded minibar, perhaps? A personal theater. The man has too much money and too little sense.
How did you manage to hang on to your access card?
The board's lackeys are none too bright. I simply claimed I'd lost it and hid it somewhere no one would think to look.
Do I want to know?
I merely hid it in a book. No one reads anything longer than a few pages around here. There are a few advantages to dealing with imbeciles.
Well, thanks for your help.
Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound message drone. This is our chance. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years. He's desperate to keep me out of contact with the Earth Directorate. But they need to know what's happening here.
What's on the cartridge?
What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption and mismanagement plaguing Halcyon. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
You're awful trusting for a guy who's been locked in his own house for years.
The Earth Directorate is our best hope. Even Rockwell's resources are no match. And it is hardly in their interest to let Halcyon crash.
How long will that take?
Depending on the nature of their response, months at least, perhaps years. Organizing and sending personnel all the way out here is no mean feat.
But if it works, it'll be worth it.
Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one in the Acropolis district.
Interesting. Here, I thought I was gonna have to kill this guy. And he's like, okay.
What was it like being one of them top runners?
Hey, my parents and their gold-shitting friends are top rungers, not me.
It wouldn't shock me if those fluffed-up hullheads actually did pass gold.
They've got pills for that, and that's not even the weirdest thing I've seen.
It ain't? Well, now you've got my interest.
Oh, there. That's one right there. Can't you just see the stench of impropriety radiating off of her? How splendid. Another rung leech wandering through the streets of Byzantium. Why, just this morning I thought to myself, as lovely as the gardens are, what they really need is more greasy vagrants frolicking through them. And here you are, frolicking.
Gracefully, I might add.
Admittedly. Now if only you could gracefully take a shower, preferably in whatever hovel you came from. Honestly, what is the board thinking letting so many of your ilk into the city proper? It's madness.
If the board isn't supposed to let people into the city, how'd you get here?
I earned my place here, just like everyone else. My grandfather was the CIO at Tile, you see.
What's a CIO?
Chief Idea Officer. He came up with all the best ideas for their products. You know the font they use for Stogie Slims? That was him. Well, he described the idea of it to their font development team, then picked it from a list of choices, but that's basically the same thing. It was a very long list.
Wait, but what did you do to earn your place here?
I just told you. My grandfather made millions of bits as CIO, and I earned them from him.
Inheriting bits isn't the same as earning them.
Of course it is. Wealth is the most visible, objective measure of success. And success isn't given to you, it's earned. My grandfather taught me that. If you have wealth, you're successful, and if you're successful, you must have earned it. Honestly, it's a simple concept.
I see, thanks.
You're welcome. Now, do we have any further business, or are you just here for the repartee?
I should go.
The Acropolis district is off limits. Move along.
Mind if I take a breather? I'm pretty tired after hauling around all these bits.
You could have asked me, you know.
What in the law's name are you on about?
This is embarrassing. I was going to bribe you, but I realized I don't have enough on me.
Honest mistake. Why don't you come back another time and we can take this from the top?
I'm not looking for trouble, I just want in.
Yeah, and I'd really like a new Hammersmith grenade launcher. Hammersmith, the most trusted brand in brutality. But we can't all have what we want. And seeing as you don't seem the executive sort, you obviously don't belong in the Acropolis district.
That's some brilliant logic. You should be promoted.
Hey, I've been trying to get a post at the HHC, but they keep turning me down on account of my odious interpersonal skills. Or something. Anyway, I've worked here long enough to know every clerk by name and face. And since I don't know yours, you ain't getting through.
You don't know me because I'm new to the job. I'm starting at the ministry tomorrow.
You're new to the ministry? You one of those lab coats they promoted from a company town?
You ever heard of stimulotion? I developed the active compound.
That was yours? Wow. You earned that promotion, all right. So you start tomorrow, huh? You know, they should have set you up with an ID 6 to 8 weeks ago.
I know, but it never arrived. I tried to file a complaint.
But then you had to wait 6 to 8 weeks for the complaint forms to arrive, right? I've been there. Yeah, all right. You're good to go.
Nice.
I never could have handled the desk job.
I'm not sure I have ever, in my entire life, felt more out of place than I do at this moment.
Do we really need all this security? I have to go through 3 checkpoints just to take a bathroom break.
Can't be too careful. Dissidents like Phineas Wells will stop at nothing to ruin this colony.
But couldn't they concentrate the security outside the building so we can get some work done?
Why are you so bothered by having a few guards around? I think I'm gonna have to speak to your supervisor about these dissonant leanings of yours.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
Meow.
Welcome to the official headquarters of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you by Auntie Cleo, a subsidiary of Colway Pharmaceuticals.
I don't think they're gonna let me go through that way. But I guess it doesn't hurt to try.
State your business. Please step away. This entry is for high-priority HHC business only.
Is this official enough for you?
Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry 32B form. Each weapon will need a separate form.
You'd better be joking.
I'm not authorized to employ humor on the job, ma'am. Now, let's see. Damn it. When did I run out of forms?
How about you save us both some trouble and let me through?
I was going to suggest that myself. Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford the citations for impeding HAC business. So I'm going to save us both some trouble and waive your forms.
Mighty fine of you.
Just know there are a bunch of guards upstairs, and they're all high on dervish mist and low on patience. So try anything funny, and they'll paint the walls with your guts.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my stationery.
What exactly do you do here?
Personal assistant to Adjutant Akande and Chairman Rockwell. I'm also responsible for organizing the adjutant's stationery, which is more of a hobby.
Exciting.
The art of arranging stationery is a never-ending source of joy and satisfaction. Will there be anything else?
I'll be on my way.
No problem.
Just a moment. Is there something I can do for you? Hey, I saw... What do you think you're doing?
I was just leaving.
Is there something I can do for you?
You could dismantle a single room of this place, sell the materials, and feed everyone on Monarch for a month.
Welcome, Chairman Rockwell. Critics agree that terminals built by, enter company name here, are the best terminals. Chairman, the rough cut of the presentation is prepped to play. The PR department has a lot of work to do, but we've covered the basics. Halcyon is on the brink of starvation. The board scientists are working on a solution. Workers can look forward to the lifetime employment program for their chance to contribute. You'll see the current version when you print your keycard for the Ministry of Accuracy and Morale. And yes, before you ask, the Dimethyl Sulfoxide has been delivered there. It's waiting for your sign-off on the board strokes, so I wanted to make sure you saw it. Don't worry, I'll make sure it gets properly edited. Sophia.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
I don't know about you, but I'm all for living fast and dying young.
I kind of want to get into that door. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it without Parvati. Unless there's a thing that gives me lockpick. Headshot kills deal 25% of their damage to enemies within 2.5 meters. Plus 30% damage, under 25% health. Let's do that one. Let's do send Minister Clark's message to Earth. Please allow between 3 and 9 months for your message to complete transit. It's weird that he doesn't come past that door. Unless I steal something, apparently.
I beg your pardon. Minister Clark's former office is currently closed to solicitors.
You should get back to your desk. I saw someone eyeing your stationery.
What? Oh dear. Thank you for reminding me. I can't stand the thought of someone else's hands touching my custom letterheads.
Alright, when we get back for the next episode, we'll get the Dimethyl Sulfoxide. Until then, see you next time.